Why hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The World Ends With You! Last time we read some more of these things, so let's continue. I've begun patrolling Shibuya in pursuit of the conductor's strategy. While in Udagawa I spotted Minamimoto's taboo noise refinery sigil. Several types of these sigils exist in various categories, which we of the higher plane have classified. Not all of them, however, will work in the UG. Its vibe frequency is simply too low for them to translate properly. The sigil Minamimoto drew was one of these undecodable types. Was that a mistake on the Foul Angel's part? Or was it a transcription error by Minamimoto? Either way, with that design he stands little chance of reviving himself. However, Minamimoto is driven and his imagination strong. Perhaps strong enough to make a taboo sigil work, even in the underground. If so, the specific result will be impossible to predict. Anything that might interfere with the composer and conductor's wager is to be avoided at any cost. I will personally neutralize Minamimoto's sigil. Angels may not interfere in the Reaper's game, but this contest will decide Shibuya's future. The higher plane cannot idly stand by. Meanwhile, the conductor has dealt a preemptive blow. The starting player count in this final game is 1. I cannot be certain whether the conductor knows that Nico Sakuraba is the proxy, but this severe restriction in the number of entrants ensures player erasure. In this flagrant abuse of his privilege, he has eliminated the threat of the proxy. With the composer in a parallel world, the proxy's position is perilous. Still, as producer, I am bound by the rules. I can offer him no help. All I can do is guide him to the Shibuya River. Call it luck or fate, even by himself the proxy has managed to form a pact. His partner to beat, now a Reaper who is himself fixated on reaching the river. As such, guiding the proxy will require little work on my part. Still, I haven't uncovered the conductor's strategy for this final week. I can't afford to relax quite yet. The conductor has used Beat's betrayal as an excuse to issue an emergency call. With it, the composer's rules for the UG are essentially suspended. After weeks of concealing the composer's absence, the conductor finally has absolute authority. At the same time, he's made red skull pins mandatory for all Reapers. And we know why now. Now most of Shibuya has a red skull pin. The stage has been set for the conductor's counterattack. Furthermore, he's cordoned off each area of the UG with walls. I could leave the UG, elevate my vibe and pass through them quite easily, but to what end? I am bound to the UG and thus my hands are tied. I cannot reach the composer, nor do I know in which parallel world he is hiding. For now, all I can do is use my second sight to watch the game progress. Also T. Rather than head to the Shibuya River, the proxy has begun wandering the streets, apparently in pursuit of the Game Master. Konishi, this round's Game Master, seems mainly interested in saving her own skin. She appears a loyal follower to the conductor, but the appearance of a promising candidate for composer would quickly change her tune. At this point, she has been working hard to recover the conductor's trust after her slip the first day. She has issued a single 6-day mission, one that exploits Beat's greatest weakness, rhyme. Her plan is to panic the pair into committing some fatal error while keeping watch from her front row seat within Beat's shadow. This serves both to restore her standing with the conductor and to avenge the blow to her pride. Beat's greatest desire is to bring her back to life. Even if revived though, Rhyme still lost the game. Her entry fee is non-refundable. I do not know what the girl's entry fee was, but a life without it, the thing she held most dear, would be filled with grief and hardship. But is the void in one's heart caused by loss never filled? I think it can be. It may take time, but something else will come along to fill that empty space, so long as one enjoys the present. In other words, we needn't mourn the loss of that which we hold dear. If only more people realized this. The composer did not impose the entry fee upon players to cause them anguish. In experiencing life without the thing one most values, players are forced to re-examine just how crucial those things really are. The hope is that by the close of the game, players will be able to take a hard look at themselves and be able to take on the future with a new outlook on life. The entry fee exists to force players to see the truth about themselves. It is a test posed by the composer to spur players' self-enlightenment. The conductor has begun his work with the red skull pins. By bringing Shibuya's collective consciousness in line with his own, he hopes to accomplish his goal of rebuilding Shibuya. The conductor's seal is unparalleled among Reapers. His strong presence was central to the composer's ability to govern Shibuya, an area considered exceptionally chaotic even among the higher planes denizens. That the composer would consent to base his plans for Shibuya's destruction on a game with a conductor shows his unwavering trust in his subordinate. The unification of minds is a natural state of the higher plane. Given time, it might happen throughout the underground. The current UG, however, is not ready. People have erected walls around the minds, dividing their collective consciousness. They coexist independently, like the cells that make up a single human being. While the player pin holds imagination strong enough to pass through these walls, the pin user's own barriers are strengthened. Were that not the case, the incoming flood of other minds could erode at the user's own consciousness. Consequently, those who hold player pins cannot be scanned. Why does individuality exist? This is something the conductor has overlooked. Everything that exists has a purpose. Like my throat being too dry to speak right. Don't mind me, I'm just a little hoarse. Yes, I've been recording all of these reports in one go. Hence why my voice isn't so hot right now. Obsessed with his egoistic protection of Shibuya, the conductor has blinded himself to the facts. With his blind ego funneled into everyone in Shibuya, the city's destruction is not far off. So long as there's individuality, it is impossible to fully eliminate loneliness. There's no such thing as a shared reality. Even people who believe they share a connection are not truly connected. They must actually make contact, clash, and learn about others through their foreignness. Differences should not be denied, They should be accepted and enjoyed. People must realize this if Shibuya is to be spared from destruction. I've detected an energy spike here. It would seem Minamimoto has returned. I judged his revival unlikely after spotting his taboo refinery sigil on the first day, but it appears Minamimoto's imagination is much stronger than I'd anticipated. The fallen angel must have completed the array for him. A troubling thought. Who can say what impact this will have on the composer and conductor's game? Minamimoto has one goal now: to find the composer and erase him. Minamimoto has been tracking the composer's movements. He must know that the composer frequents this cafe. Chances are he'll pay a visit himself. And he did. That's what those broken down walls were all about. As for the composer, I've yet to receive any word from him. Could the composer's abilities now be so limited that he cannot even reach me? I may need to contact myself in the parallel worlds to help search for him. Let me expand on the concept of parallel worlds. In life, reality is made up of a continuous string of choices and the consequences of those choices. Every time a choice is made, the option not selected branches off and exists as its own reality, a parallel world. It's basically Schrödinger's cat expanded to the multiverse reality. Countless numbers of such parallel worlds exist within a single plane, be it the Archie or Yuchi, and travel among them is possible through the use of imagination. Theoretically, anyone can jump to a parallel world, but penetrating the membrane between worlds requires uptuning one's vibe. This limits the pool of beings able to make the trip. Additionally, stress caused by breaking through the barrier can pull down the traveler's space vibe. If the vibe dips, the frequency may be too low to pass through the barrier. In the worst cases, it may render the traveler unable to return to his or her own original world. Conversely, angels are beings meant to jump between worlds. Thus, such travel is a simple matter. Angels have a higher base vibe than the frequency of the UG, allowing them to leave the UG, then tune the vibe to that of the desired parallel world. I have located the composer. He is in a world where Tin Pin Slammer of all things reigns supreme. I'm off to retrieve him. Minamimoto has definitely targeted this shop, and not with friendly intentions. It is essential that I leave here immediately. I will leave the keypin to the Shibuya River for the proxy. He should know what to do from here. Also yes, that parallel world Joshua escaped to after the battle with Minamimoto is the Another Day. And the Hanekuma we met at atop the building atop Pork City is, well, the main game's Hanekuma. I wonder where Joshua could be lurking. Shibuya's fate has been placed in the proxy's hands. It is no longer safe for me in the UG. My work here is done. All that remains is to retrieve the composer from the parallel world and bring him back to this one. The composer defeated the conductor. The composer defeated the proxy. That's how the game ended. However, he has stayed his decision to destroy Shibuya. It seems the course of the game has brought about A change of heart in the composer. Yes, Shibuya persists, but it is no longer the same city as it was a month ago. In its stead, a completely new Shibuya has arisen. As the composer has changed, the soul Shibuya itself has metamorphosed. 1 month previous, Shibuya was plagued with problems, not that we knew of any of them, dire enough to motivate the composer to destroy it. That, on the other hand, makes some amount of sense. Today, Shibuya has shifted into what we angels believe to be the optimal parallel world. To complete this puzzle, all of the pieces had to be set in their proper place. If even one was incorrect, the entire picture would be ruined. Rhyme's selfless display of kindness. Higashisawa's bottomless career ambitions. Konishi's heart of stone. The conductor's wild actions born from overflowing love. All of these were necessary if Shibuya was to be born anew. There are no extra pieces, no irrelevant components. Accept society as an ever-changing thing, and your mind will also become flexible. Individuals will link together and enact change throughout society. This is the only way to weather, no, to ride high upon the waves of the ever-changing world. Army mate! It was no coincidence the composer opted for this simple method in the end. My gratitude goes out to you all. I greatly look forward to what this new Shibuya will become. Thank you. And the secret report for the secret day. I entered the parallel world and contacted the composer. Unexpectedly, he seemed to be enjoying his day. In fact, the reason he had not contacted me was because he was too busy playing Tin Pin. I made him promise to meet me at the Shibuya River. In the meantime, I need to hide out, so as not to meet myself in this world. Usually, angels existing as multiple entities within the same world poses little problem. However, mine is a somewhat special case. You see, I am the fallen angel who taught Minamimoto how to refine taboo noise. Minamimoto owes his successful rebirth to the corrections I made to his flawed taboo refinery sigil. I must hide in Park City for fear that my alternate self in this world may report me on sight. So yeah, Hanekoma is kind of busy once this world, another day. Hanekoma is kind of busy once we see real world, real main game Hanekoma enter Park City. And that's why his cafe is closed. It's a thing. Nice attention to detail, although it sucks that the shop closes. Oh well. Minamimoto is my backup plan to ensure Shibuya's survival. If the composer does not change his mind, this unique city will be lost. I must prevent that at any cost. Thus, I've deemed it necessary to cross the boundaries angels usually respect. I happily accept the stigma of fallen angel for this cause. Well then, it's about time to meet him. After calling the composer and hearing his cheeky voice, I prefer reading it as cheeky. I feel as if my shadow falls even darker. But darkness has always been husband to light. So you wanna marry Joshua? No, you can't do that. He's already Niku's boyfriend. I sincerely hope that someday my sins will be justified. I still hold faith that they will, now and forevermore. One last thing to the composer's pick, Neko Sakuraba. The future you must choose is within you. I am glad to have had the chance to meet you. And there you have it. All of the background explanation of what is actually going on. It would have been nice if they had actually explained it with imagery or dialogue during the game instead of doing this background flavor text kind of thing. But oh well. I would have also liked to know what the freaking problems in Shibuya were before the composer decided to destroy it. Oh well. We have learned that Joshua, our Joshua, is hiding out at the Shibuya River. And if you recall, there's a door here. That's where we'll go next time. I think it's gonna be 1 or 2 more episodes. In other words, it's probably gonna be 5. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Play The World Ends With You. This is Legion, and fare thee well.